Um, so two poems. This first one, first, everyone's amazing. Obviously, love all your stuff. It's really cool to be here. This first one, just a bit of context. I normally live with 18 people and I love it. But before all this stuff happened with the world, we got taken out of our house and rehoused by ourselves in separate places, which is very different to what I want in life. So this poem I wrote in like April about touch, because I don't have any anymore. Touch me. Knock your ankle against mine or scratch my scalp. Wipe a fallen eyelash from my cheek. Speak with your fingers on my forearm. Do that thing where you come up behind me while I'm cooking and go tss on my waist and I go, ah, then stop it. Squeeze my shoulder. Body check me as we pass between these rooms. Pull out a single hair when I'm not looking. Give my ear a nasty ass wet willy. Press against me. Lay your head upon my lap. Tickle my neck or flick me on the temple. Push me, pull me, pat me on the head. Sit with all your weight on me until I beg for mercy and cry out. Poke my fucking eye out. Slap me hard across the face or punch me in the stomach. Force my mouth wide open. Bite my tongue. Drag me along the landing by the wrist. I've not been kissed, not had an arm around me, not an affectionate chin chuck, fuck all since this. Touch me, yes, touch me any which way. Love me, scare me, I honestly don't give a shit how we connect, but fucking touch me. I can feel my skin retracting, drying out. My joints are seizing up, my heart is slowing down. Sit down beside me here, just here, and have a lean. Don't let's get used to this. Don't let me not need anyone again. I took an age to understand how much I do, and God, I really do. When this is over, I am going to get arrested. I will sidle up to strangers on the buses, hold their hands. Hover in the playground, pecking children on the forehead. Hug pensioners, survivors in the Nisa local. I will run my fingers through the barber's lovely hair, force neighbours to dance salsa with me, and lick other people's partners' elbows. And when I get to prison, I'll start fights, insult whoever's in for GBH, and maybe even drop the soap. For now, though, if you're next to someone, sharing germs and fears and dinners, count your blessings. They might comment on how fat your ass is getting every time you go to grab a snack, or kick you in the shins while screaming, "You're so mean, I hate you," when you won't allow them that 10th hour in a row on Disney+. They might ask you when you're going to get yourself a boyfriend now that it is Armageddon, or incessantly remind you that you still owe them that 20 quid, or that your bed won't make itself, or that you really ought to get a mortgage, silly. But believe me, the alternative is hellishly unnatural. So grab whichever dickheads you're holed up with. See that there is goodness in them, in us all, in all our fallible, annoying, loud, inane humanity, and kiss them, hug them hard from you, and then again once more from me. And that's that one. I'm just clicking to my other Word document. Thanks, guys. This one, I wasn't sure how many people would be from where, so I think I just need to give a bit of context as well. So I live in the UK and we have a terrible government. Maybe you've heard of them, but maybe you haven't. They're conservative, they're Tory, they're all really well educated, but with no natural ability in the brain. So they're like really confident, but stupid. So I wrote this earlier in lockdown again, and it's my victory poem, but it's sort of like future victory, fingers crossed, come on everyone, sort of thing. This is called Gaps. I don't like gaps. I push my bed right up into the corner. I got a budget dentist off of Groupon to close the gaps between my teeth. The backs of cheap IKEA bookshelves frequently break off at my house with no air between one notebook and the next. My preference is to eat lunch on a bus or tube as I, just in the nick of time my way from work to play, to park, to gym, to party. I like to be sweaty, with my heart rate dangerously high, dragged upwards by the valves from where it naturally sits next to my mood. I don't like waiting. I'm the one who pushes through the crowd at King's Cross Station when the girls with freebie miniature Coke Zeros are about. I'm fucking rude. And I can't queue, not anywhere. 180ing in newsagents, post offices, or at the bar. I'll come back later. After I've gone for a cycle, written a short film, done 20 minutes on my language app, ingested scientific podcasts, sent a happy birthday message to my friend, and taught myself to beatbox. I don't want this extra time, this time for introspection and reflection. Please. My insides are all mold and dark recurring dreams and monsters in the shadows. My past a mess I left when I still qualified for children's haircut prices. Mate, I have no interest in looking back on that. No big epiphany. I've done my therapy. I've read my books. Yeah, I've seen that TED Talk, thanks. It isn't news to me that nature's feckin' brilliant and high-powered jobs that eat into your family life are shit. No shit. Like, is this it? Is this what living has to be? A waiting game I'm playing by myself where nobody's here to throw some money down and give it stakes? Can anybody shine a torch on what the point is when you've already been living your best life and regularly checking you were walking in the right direction? We're already bettering yourself and working on your dodgy bits and to be mingingly LA, following your joy. In the words of that lead character from Quantum Leap, oh boy, not happy lads, where we've ended up. Wish Boris and his pig rape cronies had licked lampposts back in January Wuhan. Man, oh man, put women back in charge who don't have dicks to swing, who have been making sure the children's hands were clean for centuries, who have been socialized to empathize to the extent that most of them would never snatch at freebie miniature Coke Zeros. Unsung heroes, sick of humoring the man at work who gives the orders but is clearly stupid, tired of stepping back when flames fly from male nostrils that have been never permitted to just talk about what's on their mind or cry. No, it's no one's fault. No, wait, it is because of gender roles. No, it's just arseholes. No, it's Oxbridge culture. Or the trauma of a dad who's never home, nannies who leave over and over late at night without saying goodbye, and boarding school at 8 years old. It is the coldness of headmistress and the game of soggy biscuit they weren't old enough to play. No, wait, that's not it. It is not okay to blame this on a life of lonely privilege. I'm not doing this. Not being classist. Some of my best friends are posh and kind and smart and capable of empathy and modesty and foresight. Basically, our government's just shite. There is a gap, a huge, heartbreaking gap between the people and the powerful. Our leaders full of swagger, though they hate the teenage population that invented it. A gap between the minister who says that mental health should not be a priority right now, and the girl whose boyfriend started seeing faces in the walls and hearing church bells when there's only drum and bass from neighbours getting cabin fever. There is a gap when that girl knows that she should not be a priority, though she considers stepping off the platform every single morning, down into that gap we're told to mind. There is a gap when Boris, with a house you could get lost in, full of workers, family members, colleagues, probably a gym, tells a woman with 4 children in one room and anger on his chair missing his football matches to stay home, stay safe for Britain, proud Great Britain. Britain, you should be embarrassed. It is embarrassing, this gap. That morning, when I got a letter from 10 Downing Street that said we'd beat this virus with the British spirit, my whole soul fell out. It is the Filipino spirit, the Nigerian, Jamaican, Bangladeshi, Polish, Pakistani, Irish, and the British spirit that has nursed your lucky arse back to your 5-star life. My God, the gap. And we would riot if we didn't have to stay 6 feet apart. But fool, the gap between this limbo and a vaccine's shrinking daily. And one day, lockdown will lift. And we'll link hungry, angry arms and kick your door down in Downing Street. Our feet will close the gap between the tiny flat in Dagenham, the corner shop that's running out of healthy staff to serve the locals, buying milk with pennies found beneath stained sofa cushions. The gap between all that and you, until we're 2 meters apart, then 1, then none. Your team of bouncers free now, seeing we now as the ones to listen to, and you'll listen, Boris, when we're close enough to smell the foie gras on your breath, when we are close enough to kiss you, you will listen. You will listen. Thank you.
Wow.